Hey, good afternoon, everybody. About a week or so ago, I was contacted by somebody in the marketing department from Fifine Technologies. They make USB microphones. She was wondering if I'd be interested in doing a review of one of their products, and I said, sure, why not? This isn't a tech review channel, but I've done some in the past, and I enjoy doing it. Hopefully I can help somebody make an informed decision in the future. And so let's see what we can do. Let's start with unboxing this thing and see what it looks like. All right, so let's take a look at what we've got here. What I've found really interesting is that when the box was delivered, it was not sealed anywhere. It just came straight from Amazon, so I'm sure there's no problem with that. But it was just interesting that there's no seal at all. So let's open it up. Okay, so immediately we find a couple of little pamphlets here. The Fifine company website, just sort of like a little bookmark thing with a thank you, dear sir and dear madam. The user's guide, the T683 user guide that we will reference here in a few minutes. But right now, let's see what we've got. Okay, we've got a little black foam covering over a really nice, nice solid casing. All right, we've got the bands. I believe this is for the shock mount. Set that over here. And we do have the shock mount right here that the microphone's going to sit in. Okay, one of the nice things about this particular microphone is that it comes with several USB connectors here. So you've got the USB-C, the USB-A, and this, I believe this is called USB-B, but don't hold me to that. I'm going to talk a little bit more about why I like this connection in a little bit. All right, set that over here. Next, we've got the arm. Now, this is also something very nice about this particular microphone, this kit, is it comes with this arm. I looked at one of these with the Yeti products, and it was quite expensive to come with an arm. So I'm really excited to see how well this does. All right, a couple of other small items. This is the desk clamp that's going to go on the arm, so nice and secure. All right. And the, oh gosh, what do they call these things? I can't remember what they call them, but it goes over the microphone, your S's and P's. It helps minimize the effects of your S's and P's. And then for the moment I've been waiting for, the actual microphone itself. It's very solid, a nice weight to it, but really very small. Look at that. So, compared to my hand, it's not very big at all. We've got the gain button, the mute button, how it's going to connect to the USB, headphones here in the back. Just, very solid little piece of equipment. All right, so that's it. That's the unboxing. Let's make sure we're not missing anything. All right, let's put it back together, take it back to the office, and put it up. All right, so now it's time to put this thing together. Remarkably easy. There's only a few parts that we have to worry about. We've got our handy dandy little instruction manual. Yeah, take a look at it if you want. You can probably figure it out if you don't need to. All right, so we're going to start with the shock mount. We've got two sides to this shock mount, okay? We've got one that's kind of inset and one side that's flat. Now, you might think that the microphone actually sits inside it, but that's not the case. It actually goes on top of that, and we'll show that here in just a minute. So we've got the shock mount, we've got the microphone, we've got the pop filter, we've got a little ring to bolt things down, and we've got the USB port. I'll go over that here in a few minutes. All right, first things first, let's get that shock mount mounted. I've already done the scissor arm. I didn't show you putting that together. It's just a scissor arm. It clamps to your desk and clamps quite nice. Okay, so you got to be careful. You want to make sure that you're putting the flat side up or down if you're going to mount your microphone going down. I'm going to try this going up just to try something a little bit different. I've used my Yeti. My Yeti goes down like that. We're going to try something a little bit different. All right, so this shock mount just screws on to the arm. There we go. And next, I'm actually going to push this out of the way for a second. And we're going to take the pop filter and the microphone and install them together. And we've got your gain control and your mute button here in the front. and the pop filter is going to go right over it. Now, the pop filter is kind of ingenious. They've got it set up where they've got these little bands, these rubber band type, rubber bands, to slide directly over the microphone. Okay, let's push it down. Nice and neat. So easy access to the gain button and the mute button. All right. Now we're going to go ahead and bring the arm back up and put it on top. I want to make sure that we're aligning the front of the microphone to where I'm going to be talking most of the time. So you see, I just set it in there, and then the next piece is to take that little coupler and screw it on from underneath. It's just hand tight, no tools required. Okay, thread it in there, secure it as best I possibly can, and you can see that shock mount has a little bit of give to it. So, in the flimsy little desk like I've got right here where things are always moving, hopefully that's going to absorb some of the sound, and I'm not going to have to worry about it. All right, the last piece is we have to connect the USB port. Now this little USB connector, I really like this. I'm glad that they gave us this type. My Yeti microphone that I've had for over a year now has already had to be replaced once because the micro USB port broke. If you've had an old phone, you might have had to figure out, how you plug it in, then might have to wiggle it this way to get a charge and things like that. Well, that's exactly what happened to my old microphone. This one should be a little more secure than the old kind. So let's put this in and see how it works. Okay, it's only going to go in one way. So press it in, and I've got light. Okay, so this last minute or two has been brought to you on my Yeti microphone, so we have that as a comparison. Next, we're going to do some sound quality checks and see how things go. All right, so I'm going to ramble on here for a couple of minutes just so we can get an idea of the audio quality of this Fifine T683 USB microphone. Comes in a couple of different packages from Amazon.com. This particular package comes with the Scissor Arm, and it retails for $69.99. You can also get it on a tripod for $10 less, $59.99. Now, I wish they had come out with a package worth both of them, because I'm going to be taking my show on the road here in a couple of weeks, and I would have liked to have taken it with me. But since I've just got the Scissor Arm, this thing is going to stay at home, and I'll have to resort to something else. All right, guys, so there you have it. There's a couple of minutes of audio that you can use to test the quality or judge the quality of this particular microphone. There's two advantages that I would say that this has over some of the other microphones that I've used. Talking about others, I've used the Elgato Wave, and I use the Yeti X in all of my podcasts right now. The biggest difference between this T683 and the Yeti is the price. For $69.99, I think we're getting a very good quality sound that I can get from my Yeti X, but the Yeti X cost, what was it, $169 on sale? So $100 more. And you have to ask yourself, is it worth it? Is it worth spending $100 more to get a few more features that you get out of the Yeti, but the quality, it's about the same. Now, I would say if you are doing a podcast like this, or a YouTube video, or maybe you're streaming on Twitch, where the microphone can stay right there, a few inches away from your face, it's going to be a great microphone, and it's going to be hard to justify spending a little bit more money. And a couple of the other options or differences is that the Yeti X requires some software to make it sound this good. And on my Mac, this Yeti X, I've had some problems with it, to be honest with you. I have some problems with it syncing up with the software that I use for broadcasting. I've had problems with the USB ports. So it might have the Yeti name. The Yeti name might be a little bit more popular than Fifine, but that doesn't make it a better microphone. Now, would I have purchased this? So I told you a few minutes ago that I was approached by Fifine and they asked me to do this. Here's the truth, though. I probably wouldn't have purchased it just because I'm not familiar with the name. So I'm hoping that if you see this video, you'll give it a chance. it is a good microphone, and I do really like the quality. I love the simplicity and the accessories that you get, the shock mount, the scissor arm, the pop filter. Those are all extra for the Yeti or some of the other products. So check it out on Amazon. Check out some of the other reviews. I did. I went out and saw some of the other YouTube videos on it, and most of us are saying the same thing. Yeah, it's a pretty good product for $69. So if you don't have a lot of money, you're just getting started, or even if you're maybe a seasoned professional and you're just looking for something with a small footprint, take a look. The Fifine T683 is a pretty darn good little microphone.